What is up, guys, and welcome to episode 9 of Game Focus. Now, I have to apologise, we missed a couple of weeks. One week I was busy, and then the following I was ill. So, this is the next possible date we could make. Hopefully, looking forward to getting back to it. We have a lot on our plate today. We've got Gamescom, a specific game that was announced at Gamescom, and then the Nintendo Nindies event. Before that, we're going to discuss what we've played. As always, I'm joined by Platty, and so Platty, what have you been playing?
I'll kick things off with FIFA 17, the Journey mode.
Oh, you've been playing the Journey mode?
Yeah, I decided to finish that off.
Alex Hunter.
Yeah.
Is that so you prepared for Series 2?
Yeah, for the second story, because I don't know if it automatically continues from your previous life, in the previous FIFA.
Oh, it uses save data?
Well, I don't know. I imagine surely it should do, but...
Yeah, because in theory you'll still play for the same team that it ended you on.
Yeah.
Which was that Man City for you?
It was, yeah. I actually enjoyed the mode, shall I spoil the ending and whatnot? Oh.
You can do if you want.
Right,
if anyone's not wanting to be spoiled, just pause it or mute the sound for a few seconds.
Yeah. So basically, because I don't know if you can win the Premier League with, on the story mode.
Yeah.
Because I didn't win the Premier League, but the main thing was the FA Cup. Because that's the one your father never won. Or grandfather.
Okay.
No, grandfather, sorry. So I was against your local team, so it was actually against Manchester United.
Oh,
so
right,
pretty cool. But the thing is, your best friend as well, because I think he's annoyed at you for coming back to your team, so he actually signs a transfer to Manchester United.
Oh, right, okay, wow.
So it's like a bit of a rivalry going on there. The finale.
That was kind of, because I've played the opening few chapters. I thought that was predictable that you were gonna face.
That was going to happen, yeah.
He was gonna become your rival.
Yeah. So when you're coming out, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to own you" and whatnot. So I
do
end
you
up
think
winning.
you don't win the league so they can move into the second series, and that's the goal for the second series?
Maybe so. Well, you qualify for Champions League. I know that much, or European Cup as it's called.
So you qualify, but you don't compete for it.
No, you can't. You compete for that, the Champions
I
League.
see.
But
I thought you meant like you qualified, and then the next series you pick up going for that.
All right. Well, going off the
tournament.
new trailers, I think it's all like European based. That you get sent to like America or something, or Spain,
Oh, right, okay.
like sign for a new thing. By the end, this is the end of Alex Hunter. You basically get called up to the England squad.
Right.
And that's how it ends. You just see like the news flash of that.
Spoilers, we lose.
Yeah, go out first round as always.
I do like the standard Alex Hunter mode. It seems a lot of fun. It gives non-football fans a purpose to play FIFA.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like they're doing, improvements a lot in the second one. Like you can actually customize Hunter, like new clothes, haircut, etc., tattoos.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. You can customize him, make him a bit more original.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a shame it's not on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, it's because it's not Frostbite. They said they'd have to, if they need, if you need that mode on the Switch, they said they'll have to bring Frostbite over.
Yeah.
So it's a juggernaut to bring over, apparently.
I can see that. So that sounds pretty good. Anything else you've been playing? Or any more comments on FIFA?
No, that's it. That's all I've done on FIFA. Just wanted to get that finished.
Sounds good. Anything else you've been playing?
Well, I think the next 3 games are probably what you've played as well.
Okay, what are they?
So Sonic Mania.
Yep, I've played Sonic Mania.
Yep, because we did say in the previous episode we would talk about it.
Now, I'm the mindset I'm coming in with is totally different to what I expected, but I'll let you talk about it for a bit and then I'll chime in.
Right, okay. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Like classic stages. A good they still play like the old school Mega Drive games or Genesis games.
They do. The gameplay's almost spot on, isn't it? It's almost identical.
Yeah, like Christine Whitehead, definitely nailed that.
It's a tiny bit frustrating though.
Yeah, some of the levels are annoying. Like there was one
precise platforming. I think it's just way too loosey goose to do that sort of thing.
Mhm. Yeah, I did enjoy. Go on.
I just find the speed frustrating. I know that's the whole point of Sonic, and it feels amazing when you're just flowing from one point to another. But when you have to do some precise action or precise platforming, it's like, this is annoying.
Yeah, there was one annoying stage. I think it's called Titanic Monarch, where you got these metal circle electric things what you have to jump up from.
Oh yeah.
It's so annoying. Just going over the up and down, and there's spikes everywhere, so you have to get it dead precise to go up.
I think that game does best where it plays on nostalgia.
Yeah.
I think people remember fondly Sonic, and then when you play it, it's like, I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, I must admit though, I haven't been enjoying it. There's been frustrations there and then, but like overall, I'd say I've like more enjoyed it than hated it.
Right. Okay.
Because I think I played more than you. I think on this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
I've pretty much given up on the game. Every time I play it, I get annoyed. It's like, well, there's so many games out there. Why am I doing this myself?
Yeah, I don't know how many levels I'm off because I haven't finished it yet myself. But
you can't be too far. You've played quite a lot of it now.
Yeah, because I think there's 12 stages, so
yeah,
I must have done at least 9 or 10 at least.
Yeah. So you think you'll finish that off? Do you think you'll go for 100%?
No, because I can't, like, what is it, the blue spear levels?
Oh, yeah.
You know, the ones where you have to go on the little blue spear things and then you have to get all of them and then you got to collect all the coins. Like, I'm awful at that game mode, or special mode.
Yeah. They're a fun little addition, but they get kind of frustrating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's honestly the thing for me, that game. To sum it up, it's a fun game that borders on frustration.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, some people love that, some people don't.
Mhm.
Anything else for Sonic?
No, that's all.
Does it make you look forward more to Sonic? I forgot it. Sonic Forces, I believe it's called.
Yeah, I don't. It's weird now because I think I kind of prefer the 3D levels, like the 3D aspect of it, just running fast. I don't know if it's because you can see more in front of you, at the time.
You've got more control over what you're seeing and what's coming up.
Yeah. Instead of the side scroller.
I think for me, Sonic's not a franchise that I'm particularly fond of.
Yeah. See, I've kept with it for years, haven't I? So.
Yeah, you've played quite a lot of Sonic games.
Yeah.
I played like the Mega Drive ones, and I've never really liked them after that.
Sonic Adventure 2, man.
Actually, no, I had Sonic Advance 3 on the Game Boy Advance, which we've mentioned before. So Sonic Mania. What else have you been playing?
Uncharted Lost Legacy. Lost Legacy.
I've played this as well. I actually also went back and played Uncharted 4 just prior to this. What a fun game this is.
It definitely is.
It's now I should point out before we start talking about Uncharted 4, I found the pace of that game to be really odd. Like, there were times when nothing happened for ages, and then, you know what I mean? It was just really slow at points.
Yeah.
Like, when you play as the kid version of him again, it's like, end, please.
Is that the bit in the mansion?
Yeah. Just bits like that took you out of it. I was like, I don't really want to play this right now.
Yeah.
In fact, I actually skipped it when I played it back.
Oh, you can do chapter select, can't you?
Whereas I think Lost Legacy is always, like, leading towards something. The pace is just spot on. You never wait
there's always
too long to do something.
But there's always a purpose to do something, isn't there?
Yeah. There's always a puzzle going on, or combat, or driving, or exploring. And none of it lasts too long. None of it's too short. It just gets to it, does it, moves on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And I think it just flows a lot better than Uncharted 4. To me, it felt like a culmination of everything they've learnt on Uncharted.
Yeah, I'd say that, yeah.
From, like, the gameplay to the set pieces to, it's all sort of takes part, the best bits of all 4 games, and just builds this sort of ending legacy.
Yeah. I enjoyed the chemistry between Chloe and Nadine as well.
Yeah.
Like, further on in the game.
As a duo is pretty fun. Because obviously when they start off, they're not really allies. Well, they're allies, but they're not really friends.
Just there for the money.
Like, yeah. And then the more it progresses, the more they come close together, and you see that relationship building over time, which I really liked.
Yeah.
I actually think it works quite well without necessarily even not like Drake in charge. I mean, obviously everyone loves Nathan Drake and he's a really good character, but I don't think he needs to be the focus of Uncharted if they want to move forward with it.
Yeah, like I don't mind Chloe as the lead person.
Yeah, I'd take another Chloe game, or one that has Sam in charge of it, or Sully. I think it just shows that he's not necessarily the driving force being Uncharted now. His story ended.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Yeah.
And it ended in a really strong way as well. Like, I don't know if I actually want to go back to Drake. If he popped up with like, nah, I'm alright.
You never know. He could do like the Sully role, like in later games, maybe.
If he's a part-time character, yeah, I could probably see that working.
Yeah.
But I don't think he should be the main focus anyway.
Oh yeah. But
yeah, this is like, I can see myself replaying this so much as well, because it's just to the point. It's what, 6
hours.
Yeah. 6, and so it's, you can play through that in an afternoon if you wanted to.
Did he have new Game Plus modes on Uncharted?
I think you can go through, because you can do cheats and stuff, can't you? Where you can change in different characters.
Oh,
You can get unlimited ammo and all that stuff.
Right, okay.
What did you think of the, I think was it Chapter 4, I believe, the open worldish type one?
I actually quite enjoyed it, like going around like you mean in your Jeep and whatnot,
Yeah.
trying to
I love
find
that
certain
segment.
stuff. Yeah.
And you have the little discs that you have to collect, which it doesn't specifically say you must collect these,
Yeah, it's optional.
which I kind of liked. You sort of find one and go, what's this?
Yeah, I
And
did
then
that, and then when you find the other
yeah,
part.
you slowly keep finding it, and it's like, oh, what's this? I found another one. And
Mhm.
then I got to obviously the part where it tells you, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh.
Then I must collect them all now.
And then you get a really fun little interaction with Nadine and a special item.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You really learn to meet these characters and know what makes them tick. And I actually found the bad guy. I didn't find him to be because some Uncharted bad guys, it's like, what do they even want? What are they doing?
Yeah.
I actually didn't mind this bad guy. He had quite a lot of menace to him.
Oh yeah, when he's like kicking the hell out of two characters.
Yeah, there's a fight scene where you have to fight him and he absolutely destroys you both. It's like, whoa, this dude. Yeah, I really like that. And I think it's a really solid game. I actually think it's potential contender for Game of the Year. Potential.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. There's
obviously,
going to be the other ones in the list, but yeah, it could be on there. It's definitely on
think-
there, I'd say.
Zelda's winner at the moment, but I think it's potential contender.
Mhm.
So yeah, Uncharted. Have you have anything to add to the Lost Legacy?
Trying to think now. No, don't think so.
No, we haven't checked out any of the multiplayer stuff yet, have we? Which we
Yeah,
might
like the
eventually go
survival
down the
mode and
road.
whatnot. Yeah.
But that was all from Uncharted 4 anyway, so which is pretty generous considering it was part of, the price wise, and you get the multiplayer as well, even though they didn't need to give you that.
Yeah, I suppose they're doing like Halo did on, was it ODST? Where you got the full Halo 3 multiplayer.
The price of it as well, was it £25?
Yeah, it was
So,
£25.
I think it's just like the perfect amount. Like that game is longer than some £40 games.
Yeah, or even higher now with PS4 and whatnot and Switch games.
True. Yeah, I think it was really good. I really enjoyed my time with it. So, what was your next game?
Oh, the last game I've been playing is Mario Rabbids Kinder Battle.
Okay.
I'm actually been enjoying it. Like I was kind of thinking because I've never played, because it's like an XCOM style game, isn't it?
Grid-based strategy.
Yeah, grid-based strategy. And I ain't really played any of them. Like I've just played proper strategy games.
Yeah.
Like on the way, so I was just like, okay. But
Well, it's different from a lot of the ones I've played actually. It's
it's
like,
light-hearted as well.
Yeah, well, there's that. But normally the gameplay is more about being defensive and tactical.
This is more
Whereas
offensive.
This is more about attack-based and tactical. So you have your charges where you run into enemies and then you can run off and hide behind cover, or you can bounce off another partner and jump on top of them and
to
stuff
go
like that.
further. Yeah.
And so it's all about thinking, how can I be the most aggressive while moving forward as much as I can.
Mhm.
And I think the more aggressive you play, the better you do. Weirdly.
Yeah.
So yeah, how far have you got in it? It's sort of still quite early on.
Yeah, I think I'm still on still the first chapters, but I think I'm on 1.6. I think it is.
1-6. So I think that's the final chapter, I believe.
Right.
That first thing. I think I'm on 3. I'm either on 3.3 or 3.4. I can't remember which I did last time.
Right.
But wow, it gets hard later on.
Does it?
It's it's never unmanageable.
Mhm.
To the point I've got to anyway. You just got to be constantly looking at everything, working out where everyone is, and constantly just attacking and moving, and make sure you upgrade your characters. It helps to go back and do the challenge maps because then you get more upgrade points for your characters.
All right,
also,
I need to go back to that.
Yeah, well, you won't unlock it until you finish the first world.
Ah, right, okay, that's
So
why
you finish the first world, and then you go back. If you walk through the first world, you'll find little rabbit toads.
Right.
And if you talk to them, they'll give you challenge modes.
Okay.
And you'll also get coins off them, which help. The more coins you have, the more guns you can buy.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's such a weird game. It feels like expertly crafted. It's just everything feels right in it. I haven't found a single thing which I've gone, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's a nice, colourful game.
It is. It's really good. It's got a lot of personality as well.
Mhm.
Just seeing that, some of the moments in it, I only genuinely didn't expect to laugh out loud, but I have at certain points in that game.
Yeah.
Stuff's happened, and I just found myself absolutely laughing my head off.
Well, I've always liked the Rabbids, since the mini game collection on the Wii, original Wii.
They're like a more crude version of the Minions, aren't they, basically?
Yeah, but remember, Rabbids did come before Minions.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's such a fun game. It's so unique as well. Like, was it Miyamoto said you can make it, but I don't want Mario to be able to jump.
Yeah, or anything in relation to platformers.
And so they've used this and gone, right, okay, we're gonna make him jump. We're gonna do it in our own way. So you run up to your opponent and they give you like a boost so you can fly through the air.
Yeah.
And it's like, see, it's got the familiar elements, but it's sort of put a unique spin on them.
Yeah, it seems like everyone who's played it has enjoyed it. I don't think anyone's gone, oh, this is rubbish or whatnot.
Also, Luigi is number one.
So who have you got in your squad then, or team?
My squad of 3, and I tend to have Mario, Luigi, and Peach. You know, Rabbid Peach.
Right, Peach. Which is the one what gives you health?
That's her. Well, both Peaches do.
Alright, okay.
But hers is a lot stronger. I honestly wish I could have Mario, Luigi, and normal Peach, though, because those 4 together would really work. But obviously, for some reason, they want you to have a Rabbid character.
Yeah, I suppose it's because it's a crossover.
Yeah. I mean, Luigi, though, is invaluable. I'm never getting him out of my team. Because he has, no joke, though, he is genuinely useful as hell. He has this ability where if you pop, you know that ability where he can scan for enemies when they move and then he shoots them?
Yeah.
But if you upgrade it, he can do it 3 times in one turn.
Alright.
So anytime, like, 3 enemies move, he can almost kill 3 enemies at once. It's so helpful.
Nice.
And then you've got Rabbid Peach healing everyone or putting a little shield up and stuff like that.
That's one. I need to do that, upgrade the heal for her, because I've just got the default 3 at the minute.
Yeah. You unlock characters really slow. That's the one thing I'm not hugely fond of.
Right.
Like, supposedly you unlock a character like 2 levels before the end of the game. It's like, I don't know if I want that.
Maybe it's just a replayability, like to go back to the start and redo it with those characters.
I've also been playing the 2-player co-op action. Local co-op.
They're different, aren't they, from the
it's totally different,
game.
like maps and stuff. Basically what it is, you get 2 characters each, and then you sort of, you've got to work together to take out... Some of them you've got to get to 2 objectives. Like, there'll be a blue zone and a green zone, a yellow zone, and you've got to get, 2 characters to each of them. All these ones where you just have to eliminate all the enemies.
Right.
And it's it just works well with another person, because you both got to be in control but communicating and working together. And it's so it's really interesting how it works.
I guess you get, does your upgrades carry over to the main game or not?
Yeah, your upgrades work in that. I don't think you get coins and stuff for finishing it. I think it's just sort of just an optional
extra option. Okay.
You can also use amiibos in it, can't you, to get in the base game? I mean, to unlock guns and stuff, I believe.
Yeah, I think you can use the 4 Super Mario amiibos.
Yeah, the classic Super Mario ones. Yeah.
Yeah, the main characters in the game.
So yeah, I don't really know what else to add to that. It's a genuinely really fun game, which surprised. Well, I was going to say just myself, but
the world probably.
Yeah. Honestly, you can take the 2 craziest things and make them perfect if you have the right vision.
Definitely.
So, is that all your games that you've played?
It is, yeah.
I suspect you'll change your mind when I suggest my last game, because obviously we talked about most of them in yours.
Yeah.
Life is Strange Before the Storm, Episode 1.
Oh yeah, I don't know how I forgot that.
Yeah. What do you think of this then?
I enjoyed it. I don't know how to not try and spoil a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's quite hard.
It's story related.
It's still quite fresh.
Yeah.
I like the new back chat gameplay
option,
mechanic.
yeah.
Because it's obviously you don't have the time travel ability like
you did with Max
had in the first one. So they've added this back chat thing, which is plays on Chloe's strengths, where you've just got to be as angry and aggressive as possible to get the people to do what you need them to do.
Well, it's like at the beginning of the game, isn't it? You're trying to get into a club.
Yeah, that's how it opens.
Yeah. I was trying to find everywhere to try and get in without, doing the back chat thing.
Yeah. There will be a way, I bet.
Because I was trying to look everywhere, nope. I couldn't
maybe
find one.
maybe that's sort of your introduction to it, they do that on purpose.
Yeah, because it comes up with the thing done. It says, "Oh, this is a new back
thing.
Chat feature." Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it is they do that on purpose. Yeah, I thought it was really fun. I mean, it's kind of knowing where her character ends up.
Her and Rachel, yeah.
From the base game, it's kind of weird playing through it, knowing where it's going to end. But yeah, I think it's a good addition to the world that was already set up.
Yeah.
You get a lot of backstory for characters and stuff that you didn't understand, which were greatly important in the original. You meet a couple of familiar old faces as well, what's his name now? Is it Nathan Prescott, the bully?
Yeah, you meet, is it Frank the drug dealer?
Frank the drug dealer, yeah, and his Chloe's mother and stepfather.
Yep.
And a couple of other little characters in between.
Victoria.
Did you play the weird little Dungeons and Dragons bit?
I did, yeah.
That was fun. What did you think of that? That was mad.
Yeah, pretty fun. I was like, well, I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, so like, I'll just try and choose all the options.
Yeah, it's just a fun little section. Like,
yeah.
It actually constantly put a smile on my face, that game.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's quite a heavy game. There's stuff in it. It's like, whoa, what's just happened there?
Yeah, especially at the ending.
Yeah.
We won't spoil, but yeah.
It is a fun ride getting to that point.
Mm-hmm.
There is like a moment in it where like a switch flicks and it's like, okay, now we're getting serious.
Yeah.
Whereas before that, it's just a fun, jolly time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to the next 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I was kind of interested to see how these played out with it being a different developer, but I think they've nailed it.
Yeah, because I think it's only 3 episodes, isn't it?
Yeah, just 3.
Yeah.
And, well, you get a bonus episode as well, which is sort of like a tie-in between that series and the
first
original
one.
series.
Right.
So I don't know how that'll play out.
Mm-hmm.
But that was tied to the deluxe edition, which I don't love that feature. Like, everyone should be able to get that.
Yeah, you never know, they might just like give it free after like a year or something.
I doubt it, but yeah, possibly. So I believe that's all the games we've played. That's all I've played, because obviously a lot of them are the same as you've played.
Yeah,
So
we normally like the
Uncharted
same
and all that.
games, so.
We have this week. Normally we're quite different, but this week it's all been the same. So next we're going to discuss a couple of news stories. We're going to start off with Gamescom, because obviously that was that 2 weeks ago now?
I think so.
Or a week and a half ago, I can't remember exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start off with the Xbox and EA conferences, because they were the only two that had proper conferences at the event.
Well, Xbox wasn't really a conference, but I know what you mean.
Well, no, it's weird.
More like
What
a
I'm gonna
sit
do
down,
is-
but yeah.
I'm going to go through each thing, that was mentioned, and you're going to tell me if you think it's important to talk about or not, basically.
Right.
So they start off with, at the Xbox conference, they start off with, it wasn't a conference like you say, it was more 2 people sat on a sofa interviewing a guest.
Yeah.
So they started with Assassin's Creed, talking about Bayek's story, and just, several gameplay mechanics and stuff. Do you think that's important to talk about, or do you think that's just the same as they showed off at E3?
I think it's pretty much the same. Like, we know what Assassin's Creed is, I would say.
So then, next, they move into an exclusive game reveal in Jurassic Park. It was like a theme park builder type thing.
Yeah, like your Zoo Tycoons and whatnot.
Which ties into the new movie, I believe, coming out next year.
Mm-hmm. Made by Frontier Developments, I think they're called.
Do you think this was an important part of the segment?
I'd say that's probably one of the bigger stories from
I
the
agree. I
Xbox
think
conference.
This, to me, might have been the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because I think this was the only game that really got revealed as such. That's new, brand new game, never before seen.
Yeah.
And then I believe we went into the World of Tanks. I think we saw some of that.
Oh, yeah.
Which,
No, we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, I don't think that's
World of
particularly
Tanks.
relevant to anything. Then they showed Recore. Was it Definitive Edition they call it?
Yeah, and that's
Which is
actually
like-
out now.
Yeah, it came out at the end of August. You're right. It's out now.
Yeah.
This kind of interests me actually. I want to talk about this a little bit in the fact that it's not just the same game. They've added some brand new chapter in and a couple of challenge modes and a new robot companion.
Yeah, and the good thing is, it's if you already have the original Record game, you get it you get the upgrade for free.
And it's got Xbox One X.
Support, yeah, and I think it's got
Support as
HDR enabled as well on the Xbox. Was it One S? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Xbox
just-
One X, but yeah.
Such a weird thing to do. I don't think I've ever seen them just do this. We're gonna put an extra little package in it.
I think it probably helps improve it as well because it was quite review wise, it was quite average,
Yeah.
wasn't it? So it's good for them to
fairly
go back
cheap
to
as
it.
well. I believe it's £20.
I think it's 15.
Is it 15? That's
think so.
fantastic.
Yeah, and
So
if
that's-
they've improved everything, I think the loading times are down by I think it was a minute or something to load. When you died.
Quite a long one. Yeah.
I think it's only 30 seconds now.
So maybe they genuinely believe this is a good game and they just wanted to get more eyes on it.
Yeah,
So they've just re-released it with some new DLC but it's not like they're selling the DLC, which is the crazy thing. Is if you
Yeah.
have the game, like you say, you get it for free. It's
Yeah.
what are they doing? This is crazy.
and also to note, if you have the Xbox Game Pass, it's part of that now as well.
Yeah, it is, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You can get the free trial, play it, and then cancel the trial if you were desperate.
Yeah,
It's I think it definitely brings value to that Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's really cool. Then I believe we saw Sea of Thieves, which I actually cannot even remember what we saw of Sea of Thieves.
I honestly can't remember.
I think it might have been the same trailer and then an interview.
Right.
But again, I think Sea of Thieves is kind of past it now. I think they're showing too much at this point.
Yeah. I think you just need to bring a beta out, like a public beta.
That's what they need to do.
Get it in people's hands.
If it was out this year, then I think it'd be fine because it'd work as like launch trailers and hype and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But it's not this year, so why are they building so much like trailers up now, making people tired of the game, doing the old-fashioned Ubisoft?
Yeah, because Ubisoft do like showing a lot.
It's weird. So Sea of Thieves I didn't think was particularly relevant here again, especially considering they just shown it at E3 not so long ago.
Yeah. What's random? They're going to add I think it's like 540p resolution and like have a 10 or 20 FPS mode.
I think it's 15
FPS. Yeah.
It's like, why would you even want that?
Yeah, I know they did say that apparently someone requested it and they said we're not going to hold back, like people playing the game if they enjoy that FPS.
All comments were like, who requested 15 FPS?
Yeah. It's like people more when it's not 30. It's like, oh, it was
15. I mean, I don't see the problem with it because it's like, it doesn't detract from everyone else.
Oh, yeah, but if you're like fighting another person, it's like, you're not going to, when you're moving your gun or whatever, you're going to be slower than that other person.
How choppy is that game going to look?
Yeah.
Weird. Then I believe next they go on to Minecraft, where it wasn't so much about the game. It was more about a skin for a console and controller, in that it looks like a Minecraft dirt block. Mm-hmm. And the controller, I believe there's a creeper one and a pig one.
Yeah.
Which, they're kind of cool. If kids are into Minecraft and they want a new console, why the hell not? It's,
They might as well use that license, end of the day, make some money, don't it?
They did spend plenty of money on it.
Yeah.
I actually, I didn't particularly hate it either. I thought it was going to look ghastly when I saw it. I was like, nah, that's alright.
Yeah. Yeah. Not too bad.
I have skipped a few things in this conference because these were like the highlights of it. It was a pretty dreadful little conference that they showed off.
Yeah.
They went into the Xbox One X next, where they didn't really reveal much about the One X. They more talked about the Scorpio edition, which is basically pre-order it. It's basically a day one edition, isn't it?
Yeah, like they did on the original Xbox One.
And all it is, it's a console that says, I think it just says Scorpio on your controller and somewhere on the front of the Xbox. And now for me, it's like, why would anyone want that?
I think it's just to be part of that, I was the first one to get one kind of thing. It's like a limited edition kind of thing.
I suppose, yeah.
I think it's got some special skin as well, not just to the text on the console. It's got a specific green skin on it or whatnot,
does it?
Dark green.
Okay. I didn't know that.
And it also comes in a original Xbox box.
Yeah, it looks like the original console box,
yeah.
doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, out of 10, what would you give the Xbox conference? I have just sprung this on you. You haven't prepared this.
I'd probably say, I don't know, a 5. Because there wasn't anything really
generous.
Yeah, well, yeah. But, there was nothing really exciting. Originally you thought, this is going to be a conference, it's going to be good.
I've totally forgotten something.
What?
Probably the biggest thing there. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Oh, yeah. But that's I suppose the only thing
that's the most important thing for them.
Yeah. The only thing with that, though, wasn't it just the same trailer as the E3 one?
It was, but it was more about the announcement, the fact that it's a console exclusive on the Xbox.
But it turns out it's kind of not. They haven't fully, said that it is. I know they have.
So it's another weird Tomb Raider.
Yeah, situation. Because there was so many tweets or something to the developers and whatnot. I think the main thing is they're basically working with Microsoft to get it out, optimize it and whatnot.
Okay. So it's going to be an Xbox exclusive first.
Yeah, it looks like it. But it is a big
stolen some of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a big deal that they've got the first exclusive rights to it on console.
Yeah, it sold, did I say 10 million now, I think, on PC?
Yeah, I believe so the other day.
So it is kind of a big win for Microsoft when you think about that.
Oh, it is. Even if they've just got it for 6 months, by the time that's ended, the zeitgeist will be over.
Yeah. If it's the next Minecraft, but for adults, when people buying it, I mean, that could be a certain, Xbox seller.
Oh, big time. Big time. Mm-hmm. I know people who, probably going to get Xboxes because that's on there. People who've got PS4s maybe and don't have PCs.
Yeah.
I bet they'll go out and go, I'm going to get an Xbox to play that game that everyone's talking about and raving about.
Yeah, it seems like it's selling 1 million every week, it seems.
So I think that's generally a huge get for Xbox.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I remembered it, because that would have been fatal if we'd have forgotten about that.
Yeah. Like I said, though, I think it's because it was the same trailer. Like, you know, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I know
it
you
was
said
the same
that the
trailer, but
developer
they had
came
an
out.
interview, didn't they, by the creator, who he seemed like a pretty cool dude, to be honest. He seemed just like a normal, bog standard, laid back dude who just decided, you know what, I'm going to make a game for fun.
Yeah, well, he
And
had previous experience, didn't he, with
it
H1Z1?
It was originally a mod for H1Z1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it just seemed like he thought, you know what, I'll release this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he anticipated doing as well as it's done.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I know he's come out and said he'll never raise the price of the game.
That's good. Wow. Normally people cash in on that sort of thing.
Yeah, but end of the day, if it's selling as well as it is, why do you need to?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think it's like what, £20.
Every time you see like the sales figures, it's like, who hasn't bought that now? And then you see, oh, sold another 1 million.
Yeah, well, I think because I think it was only at 8 million like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
It was. It's a crazy game.
And this is only on PC on Steam as well.
So I still think you're right though. I still think the conference itself was a sort of 5, because it wasn't really a conference.
Yeah, because normally they do have like a proper conference. Like I remember, what was it, last year or the year before, when they had like Dark Souls and Crackdown 3 and stuff like that. And
I think what they should have done is not announced it how they did. They should have said, "Oh, come hang out with us while we interview some developers." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They pitched it as a conference. So it was like, all right, okay, we're gonna have a guy on stage. We're gonna have Phil Spencer talking about video games. What's to come in the next year? That didn't happen.
Yeah.
It was a really bizarre little, just casual, sat on a sofa. It was like an Inside Xbox video, something like that.
Yeah.
Really bizarre.
Mhm.
But EA saved us all with an actual conference. Except they didn't.
I was gonna say, hold up.
It was a conference, but my words, what was it?
Yeah.
So they opened with FIFA, which I actually missed this FIFA bit, so you might have to talk us through this. But I believe it was just a trailer for Alex Hunter mode.
Yeah, it was just a CGI trailer again, not actual, like, you know, like normally they'll cut to like, oh, here we go, we've got a live match coming now, here we go, a quick 5
they never
minutes.
show gameplay for them games.
That's very true.
I don't know what they're doing. Like, it's what you're doing. It's playable on the show floor, show gameplay.
Yeah, I think the only good like FIFA Gamescom demo, well, trailer was when they did it with Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, I think it was. Remember that?
Year?
It was either last year or the year before.
I remember Royce were there one year. They had the actor from who played. Actually, it was Royce Pez. No, it was on FIFA.
No, Royce was the. Yeah. I think he's the current cover star, so it would have been last year.
I think they had him and they had the Alex Hunter actor last year at Gamescom.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, that's totally off topic. So yeah, that was basically just CGI trailer, nothing particularly huge, I wouldn't say.
Mhm.
Then we had a really, really awkward and weird Need for Speed segment.
Yeah.
Where it was like an episode of Top Gear gone wrong. the guy, I don't know what his name is, but the guy behind the game, the guy always talking about it.
Yeah.
Basically, it announced that they've got a partnership with BMW. We were walking around a track to start off with, and then they go on like a little, him and the BMW guy go on a little drive around, being chased by pretend police. They eventually reverse into like a cargo shipping crate, and then it cuts back to the conference where a shipping crate basically blows up, and then they drive out of it.
Yeah, because you'd think the front of it would just open, but it all
the side
up.
falls off for some reason, and then they drive out this crate.
Yeah,
and then they park, get out, and the BMW guy's like, "This has been a fantastic experience." It's like, what? Just standing on stage and listening to this guy talk.
Yeah.
It was really bizarre. And then they don't really talk about the game.
No.
They show another dodgy, like, pre-rendered CG footage. And that's more or less it. Which was, like, great. Thanks for that. Like, interaction.
Yeah.
They show off Fair, which is an indie game which they showed off... Oh, they don't call them indie games. What do they call them? EA Originals.
That's it.
They showed that off, not last year before, I think, at E3.
Yeah.
And it's sort of gone dark since, and they showed that off, and it looked the exact same. But then I've never been excited for this game. I see a lot of people are, but for me, I don't like the art style.
Yeah.
It's a really like washed out purpley colour for the entire time. It's like, meh.
Well, I think going out of this EA press conference, this was one of the bigger announcements, just due to a fact it's coming to the Nintendo Switch.
It is. I forgot about that. Yeah. Good save.
Because that
Everything
was the
that comes to the Switch gets a new story.
I think some people are just like, yeah, we're gonna put it on the Switch. We'll get a big news story for that. You know, I'm not saying that personally, but I'm just saying like any like
It kind of is though. It's weird because not every game doesn't come out to the Switch. When one does, it's like, whoa, let's talk about it.
That's true.
Then we go into, it's a really weird order in this, because then we go into Star Wars Battlefront, where they show
was the best bit of the conference.
Yeah. For some reason, this didn't close the show, but we'll get there later on.
Yeah.
So they show some space. Was it a match? I believe they showed.
Yeah, it was a full flight
with
match,
like some other YouTubers and various people from the internet.
It was a pre-recorded one, but it was actually like live gameplay of them recording it.
Yeah, so I suspect they recorded 4 or 5 of them, and then they picked the best match and put that out there.
Yeah.
So it shows some really cool stuff. You get like hero spaceships, and you've got your old classic X-wings and A-wings and Y-wings and TIE interceptors and all that stuff.
Yeah, because it's like a defense mode, isn't it? Like one's defending, one's attacking. Like you have to blow up the ship.
It's kind of like Rush from Battlefield in that one team's trying to blow up 2 objectives and the other team's trying to stop you.
Yeah.
And it's like a series of shield generators and guns and turrets and stuff like that. I thought this looked really fun. I really enjoyed it in I want to say the original Battlefront, but I actually mean the last one.
Yeah.
And they look like they've just improved on that. They've taken it into space. The scale's a lot bigger.
But I think is it Criterion what's just doing this mode specifically, like the vehicles and whatnot.
They're just focusing on the vehicles and the flight and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it looks really solid, this game. We saw, obviously, normal multiplayer back at E3, and now we've seen space multiplayer. We've seen some heroes. In fact, we saw some hero spaceships. We saw Millennium Falcon, Poe's X-Wing.
Do we see thingy? Is it Boba Fett?
Boba Fett, Slave One.
Yeah.
I believe we saw Darth Maul's. I actually can't remember what Darth Maul's ship's called.
Oh, from episode 1. I can't remember myself.
From episode 1, you only see it in like 2 scenes.
Yeah.
And then we also saw in a CG trailer that you can have Yoda's ship, and I believe one of Kylo Ren's, and a couple of other ones. But yeah, it looks so much fun, this Star Wars game. I honestly can't wait for this game.
Yeah, it should be good. And a proper single player mode.
Proper single player mode, which we've yet to see, which is kind of weird to me.
I suppose they don't really want to spoil anything. Or it might be. You never know how short it's going to be. You
That's what worries me.
But then again, you're mainly paying for the multiplayer, aren't you? To be honest.
Well, that's why I didn't get that argument last year. It's like, why do you want a single player when the game is multiplayer, and that's what the game is?
Yeah.
You don't buy Call of Duty for the single player.
Yeah.
Or 95% of people don't, anyway.
Yeah, because I imagine when they have the percentage, when they see how many people jump on multiplayer to single player,
Can I ask you a question now? What was the story in Battlefield 1?
Well, multiple stories.
But what were they, though? Do you remember them?
No, not really.
There you go. That's pretty much my point. Like,
but I did play them, but I remember it being multiple.
They're not the main focus of the game. It's all about that mad multiplayer action.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought this was probably the best bit of the conference. Really enjoyed this. Star Wars is always a winner. Next, we have probably the cringiest, weirdest, what the hell moment. Sims 4 happens. And they announce cats and dogs for Sims 4. And then they bring a dog out on stage.
You know what? I actually forgot about the Sims 4,
Yeah. They bring out a dog on stage. And they try and get the dog to do tricks. It's not interested. And the segment is just the weirdest thing we've seen. It's like, please end now. Please end now. Please end now. And so then we move into the final game. And they decide to show off Battlefield 1. They
the DLC.
End with Battlefield 1. Brand new DLC. They're bringing out a new collection, which I think is basically a Game of the Year edition, where you get all the DLC included.
Yeah. Is it called the Ultimate Edition?
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember what it's called. But it's like, why have you ended the show with a game that's been out a year?
Yeah, well, I thought it would just be a trailer. There you go.
I thought, it's going to be a trailer. We're going to cut back. We'll see Skate 4, and then we're going to everyone's going to leave happy. That didn't happen. They ended on Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, you maniacs?
Especially for a full match as well. It was just like, is this the ending?
I know, it's crazy. Like, end on Star Wars. Come on.
Yeah.
The game's now. Yeah, you need hype. It was weird. It was all weird.
Yeah, so you should have swapped them.
You should have just swapped them, and then it'd have been fine. But I think it's because they had the live gameplay session of Battlefield, and they didn't know how long it was going to take. But still, it's like, nah.
Well, they could have extended it though, couldn't they?
Why didn't you have a live gameplay session of Star Wars and have? It's like weird. Why have they done that? Anyway, that's besides the point. So that was EA's conference. It was kind of a train wreck.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll agree.
Oh no, definitely. I don't know. It seems like the Gamescom, like they don't. I don't know.
I think Gamescom now is more for the public than it is press.
Yeah, but
it's more about getting hands-on with games more than revealing new stuff.
But I think it's the biggest trade show, isn't it? So yeah like 350,000 people going.
Because everyone who revealed stuff going into this, they got all the games out there before Gamescom arrived, and then the games were playable.
Yeah.
Like the next thing we're going to talk about is a game that was announced before Gamescom. It was playable at Gamescom. And I think that's the best way to do it. I think these weird conferences they're doing just don't cut it. I think Ubisoft was smart. Sony was smart to say, no, we don't have enough to talk about. We're not doing one.
Yeah. Or just release a trailer, like you say.
Or just release the trailers of stuff you need to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've got... I mean, Sony and Ubisoft, I think, are waiting for Paris Games Week or Tokyo Game Show, and in PlayStation's corner they've got PSX.
Mm-hmm.
It was just weird. I don't know what happened with this Gamescom. I don't know why it existed. I'd rather just see... Like, if EA wants to do something, why don't they just stream like Nintendo does? Just have a game, talk about it, stream it.
Yeah, well, that's what they did do at Gamescom, didn't they? They had that Red Cube event for Nintendo.
That's what I think, like, EA and Xbox should have done.
Yeah.
Instead of doing it how they did. They were like, oh, come check out our amazing conference. Like,
new games, new announcements.
Yeah, you don't need to do this. I think we've got one new game announced in Jurassic World. And, well, and Recore, if you count that, kinda. And that was basically it. That was one game announced.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Anyway, the next game that was announced is from, I believe, the Mad Max developers, Just Cause developers, who've now gone on to make their own original IP.
Is that Avalanche Studios?
I believe so, yes. I don't think it is Avalanche. I think it's people who worked at Avalanche.
Alright, okay.
This game in question is called Biomutant, where you play as... I don't really know what it is. It's like a little lynx-type bear, fox, cat animal thing. I don't quite know what it is. And it's like an open-world RPG. I think it's THQ Nordic, but I think they're publishing it, so I don't know who the the developer is.
Right, okay.
But yeah, it's an open-world RPG where stuff in the environment affects your, like, rodent creature, and it can, like, evolve and mutate into different beasts. And I believe you can customize it as well. I don't know if, like, that's how you mutate it into, like, new, designs. Say you want to fight as a big heavy brute, you can turn it into, like, a big gorilla type thing.
Oh, that's cool.
And stuff like that. It's all open world. You've got vehicles like boats, planes. I don't know if it's planes, but like a jetpack, like with wings on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's got sort of a, I kind of want to say Kung Fu Panda meets post-apocalyptic style.
I know what you mean by the animation and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird. It just looks unique. I think that's why it grabbed me.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks beautiful. I don't know if you've seen the gameplay of it.
Like, I've only seen the CGI trailer myself.
If you find... Well, the CGI trailer, it sells it enough. If you find the CGI trailer or the gameplay, it just looks really impressive. Oh, you've seen the screenshots, I believe, haven't you?
Yeah.
It just... I mean, it's... I'm not saying it's as impressive as, like, a Uncharted game, but it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a world that I'd want to hang around in and play in. Put it that way. I don't know if you've got anything to talk about this game. I don't know if you've looked into it too much.
I actually haven't, no. So
okay.
all from you.
I just wanted to put it out there just because it just intrigued me.
Yeah. But I guess that was the big reveal by THQ Nordic.
It was, yeah. I can't remember what the other one was now. They had 2 reveals, didn't they? I think one of them was a remake of something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember what it is now.
But yeah, it was a really weird Gamescom because nothing really got announced as such. I think this was the only game that, like, the biggest thing that got announced.
New IP, yeah.
I mean, you got like a new Injustice character pack announced that they had an Injustice tournament, and they announced a new character pack where you get Raiden, Black Manta, and Hellboy, which is pretty cool, but it's not really newsworthy, is it?
Yeah. Well, for Dragon Ball FighterZ, we got a release date. Well, release month, should I say?
Yeah, we did actually. That's a good point.
It's coming out in February.
We've signed up to the open beta of that. The
closed beta, yeah. And also, Android 18 got revealed with Android 17.
He did, yep, you're right.
Mm-hmm. And Android 16 playable as well, because I think they're all playable in the closed beta.
So the characters' selection's boosting up.
Mm-hmm.
We also found out about a weird crossover thing that's happening. Forget Mario and Rabbids. It's all about Final Fantasy 15 and Assassin's Creed.
Oh, the Assassin's Creed Festival, I think it's called.
Well weird.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know what this is. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, Ubisoft and Square Enix. It's like, okay, we'll team up.
It's like Final Fantasy taking little gameplay elements of Assassin's Creed, and it's like, is this a thing that needs to happen? I mean, it's not really a thing that annoys me or I get annoyed about, but it's...
I suppose the thing is it's free, and as long as it's free, yeah, don't, you know. It's
Actually,
not paid DLC.
on the topic of Final Fantasy, we also saw the mobile edition, is what they call it.
Is it the Pocket Edition? Is that
The
what it's
Pocket
called?
Edition, I believe that's it. When it's got these little chibi character versions, and I think it all runs smoothly on a mobile phone,
Yeah,
which is crazy. The entire Final Fantasy 15,
and it's still got the cooking.
and it's still got the cooking.
He's got to put down his recipes. I forgot his name.
It, I think it opens the window potentially to a Switch port as well.
Yeah, because they said they did say that apparently they tried just completely bringing the engine over, the Luminous engine, I think it's called.
Yeah, I think so.
Onto the Switch. Apparently ran awful. Like, this is no optimization or anything, but that's why they probably, like you said, bring out the Pocket Edition.
But I know a lot of people aren't fond of the art style, so I don't know how well that's going to go down.
I don't mind it though. Like you say,
I don't hate
it's
it.
for the mobile market. Like, you don't, like, if you want your full-fledged thing, that's why you buy a console for.
Yeah.
Like, it's a mobile game. It's meant to be played in short bursts and stuff like that.
I don't hate it. I think they've sort of gone with something like quite artsy, and I think it works quite well. It's just because you've seen the original. It's like they've come from that to that. It's like, whoa, what's happened there? So yeah, that's basically Gamescom. It's kind of a weird event. Nothing huge got announced. It's all just little bits of news, just bundled together. But then later, was it later in the week? I think it was a week later.
It was last week, wasn't it?
Last week, so it must have been a week after Gamescom. Nintendo held another was it Nindies they call it?
Yeah, just
Like
before
the,
PAX West.
A live stream where they showed off a lot of upcoming indie games that should come into the Nintendo Switch. I said we should each pick a couple of games just to talk about the ones that we think stand out most to us. So I don't know if you want to kick us off with your first game for that.
Yeah, I'd say 9 Parchments. I think it's called.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Yep, it's
like
made
a
by
wizard game.
Yeah. So basically, it's set in the Trine universe. If you've ever played those games.
Oh, is it actually set in the Trine universe?
It is, yeah.
Oh, I knew it was by the developers. I didn't realize it was in that universe.
Yeah, it's in that universe. But it's more like a Diablo type game or Magicka. If you ever played that game.
It looks like Magicka actually. Yeah, it's a good point of reference.
But that's good, like a little 4-player like dungeon crawler game.
Is it local or multiplayer?
It's got online and local, so that's good.
God, to learn him.
Yeah. So I don't know how much it's gonna be, but it just looks good. Like, just having, if you have 3 friends or even just one, I just go around defeating people with your magic spells and whatnot.
Yeah, because I'm guessing it balances to the level you're on.
Yeah, surely, yeah. Like different environments, etc. I think it's coming this year. Yeah, this winter it must be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
That's looking good.
So cool. That looked very cool. What was the second game that you picked out?
It was Dragon Marked for Death.
I don't remember this one.
It's the what's it called now? Is it International Crates or the ones we met the Gunvolt games?
All right, okay. Oh no, I do know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
really weird anime music.
No.
Else,
You're thinking that Away game. I forgot what it's full called, but yeah, it's like a side-scrolling action RPG.
Yes, I know what you mean.
So it looks cool. Like, that's actually another co-op game as well. You can play it locally and online. That's got 30 missions or 30 quests, as they say.
Yeah.
So nice little side-scrolling game, little action game. It just looks cool. Like, if you go check out the trailer, I'll just type it in on YouTube. It does look good.
Yeah. All right, I'll go with mine then. The first game, I believe they might have even opened with this. No, they opened with Super Meat Boy, didn't they?
Yeah, Forever.
The game that stuck out most to me is one that I've been looking to get on PC for ages. It's an episodic game, but episode 5 seems to be taking its sweet time. And that is Kentucky Route Zero. They actually announced it's coming to the Switch. They also secretly announced it's coming to the PlayStation and Xbox as well. But obviously they didn't say that was an Indies event.
Yeah.
But they announced it's like the console version, and it's going to include episode 5, and it's coming, I can't remember if they said later this year or next year. But
right.
I've always wanted to check this game out for on PC for ages, but when I saw it coming to the Switch and stuff, I was like, you know what? I might just get it on console. It's like a point and click episodic game, which I said earlier. It's I don't really want to get too much into what it is because I don't want to look into it that much. It's quite a mysterious.
If it's a story game and whatnot.
Yeah, it's quite a mysterious story game. With being point and click, they tend to be heavily story based.
Yeah. So is this like a Monkey Island game?
Kind of, but I don't think it's humorous like a
Right.
Monkey Island is. But yeah, it plays like that or a Broken Sword or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, it's got a really unique art style, which obviously you'll see on screen now. It's I love stuff like this when they've got a really bizarre art style and they just look different from everything else in the market.
Yeah.
So that really stands out and grabs me. I like point and click games. I've always liked them. Just that puzzle of like, what do I do next? And storytelling in games is, if it's done right, is generally enjoyable, and everyone seems to be saying good things about this game.
That's good then.
The second game I want to talk about it's a weird one. It's a third-person shooter game where players steal each other's size, and it's called Morphe's Law. I don't know if you remember this one.
I do.
Kind of like a third-person shooter meets Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should have said Borrowers meets Attack on Titan. Basically, the premise of the game is you shoot people, and if you shoot them in the arm, for example, their arm will decrease in size, and your arms will increase in size.
Yeah, so you kind of look like freaky, don't you?
Yeah, I think the goal is to get as big as possible, and at the end of the timer, the person with the most mass wins.
Mm-hmm.
And people could grow it's like Attack on Titan size of buildings, or people can be tiny little things who've had all the size stolen.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, the way the maps are designed, the big guys will get slowed down and blocked by stuff, whereas the little guys can make it through little tiny corridors and stuff.
All right.
And it looks like a really fun balance of how the world works with this gameplay mechanic.
Yeah.
I just thought it looked like a really fun little weird shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Just odd game design sometimes should just be rewarded.
Yeah.
I love those weird little unique experiences like you've never played before.
Yeah. Did they say that was coming this year or is it next year?
I can't remember now you've said that. I think it's next year. I think it's early next year. I think a lot of games were early next year, weren't they, really?
Yeah, because I think they said it's coming the next... Well, I think they probably said that like the next 6 months or...
Yeah, that's what they announced it as. I think there was two games they announced coming this year for definite, and I think that was SteamWorld Dig 2.
Yeah.
And...
But that's out on the 21st of September.
I can't believe it wasn't now. I totally blanked on the other one. There was definitely 2 that he announced for, this week.
Mm-hmm.
This year.
Yeah.
I wish it was this week. SteamWorld Dig had to be on that. I thought Super Meat Boy Forever looked kind of cool, but then is that not an endless runner? Which
I think they confirmed that it's not.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No.
So
I think
it's a straight up sequel.
Yeah, well, I think it is.
Whoa.
I'm not 100% sure, but I swear to God they said that it's not directly endless runner.
That's pretty cool. Then.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was. I think that was our favourite stuff in the Nindies event. If you're into it, like indie games, especially on Nintendo systems, I'd definitely check it out. There's a lot of fun, weird little games that they announced.
Yeah, it's only about 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
I think.
Like for example, there was that little beatbox game where it's all about street dancing and stuff.
Yeah.
Just a really bizarre looking little game. It's bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. So we'll move on from the news now. We're going into the questions now. Obviously, in the last episode, which was quite some time ago, we got 2 questions in particular. So I'm going to go with these first. I'm going to start off with, what game do you guys remember being most excited for when it was announced? And that is from Monkey3. Don't know if you want to kick us off with that.
It's very easy. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Is it very easy?
I'd say so.
Because I wasn't excited about this game when it was announced. I was excited for this game when the trailer came out.
Well, I was excited for it since maybe not when it first got released, like because it was like that CG, well not CGI, but it was like cartoon animated, wasn't it? Like with the Guardian.
Yeah.
And we didn't know if it was a Link or a thing, but probably last year's E3 probably got me when you seeing what you could do.
You saw sort of what it was and what it was turning into.
Yeah, that you could go climbing anywhere, you could like chop down trees, etc.
Yeah.
But I'd say especially since the January's trailer, I think I watched that trailer like every day. I'm not kidding, about 3-4 times a day. Probably even longer. Just like even though I've got the game now, I still watch it now and then, just because it's a really good trailer.
Really impressive.
But I would say that myself.
Yeah, I found this to be a really difficult question to answer.
No.
Because it's like, obviously you've got like your Red Deads and your GTAs and stuff like that, which is like, it's going to be amazing. You're going to be excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got stuff like Fallout 4, because I was hugely into Fallout 3. I mean, it didn't turn out as good as I was hoping, but...
The anticipation for it, though. Especially when it was only like 5 months away, wasn't it, from coming out?
That was the big thing. When Arkham Knight was announced, I was over the moon, well excited. I mean, again, the game didn't turn out to be amazing.
One thing about that Batman thing, though, they shouldn't have spoiled that starting bit.
No, that was a mistake. And then you've got... I think honestly, the answer I'm going to have to give for this is probably The Last of Us. Obviously, you saw how good Naughty Dog worked on Uncharted games. And when we saw this sort of post-apocalyptic future, I think I was just... Because obviously I was in the peak of like Fallout at that point.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, okay, this is going to be good. I think that's probably the game that, was super excited for.
Yeah.
And then when it came out, it was as good as I'd hoped.
Yeah.
Probably better than I'd hoped.
Yeah.
So I think, Last of Us. I mean, obviously, after playing Uncharted 1, I was like, well excited for the second one. Again, after playing the second one, I was excited for the third one, and so on and so forth until Last Legacy. Well, the Last Legacy wasn't the same level of excitement as like Uncharted 4 was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Last of Us is probably that. I mean, there might be some I was more excited for on PS3, but I don't remember, because it's quite a while ago.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Last of Us was on PS3, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably Star Wars Battlefront was probably quite exciting at the time.
Yeah.
Because we all saw how good that looked, and I don't know. So yeah, probably The Last of Us. And Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll shoot on to the second question. Which game's legacy do you think will last the longest? And that's from Johnny Moore. You could take this two different ways, I see it as.
What, like as a franchise or as a specific game?
Franchise or specific game. I think there's... if we're talking franchise, I think you answered this perfectly last night in a text to me. I don't know if you want to reveal what you said.
Yep, Super Mario, like the series, the main series.
Yeah. In fact, I believe you sent me a picture of Mario.
Yeah, that's all I had to do.
It was instantly like, yeah, he's right. If we're talking franchise, but I think if we're talking individual game, for me there isn't a specific Mario game that I can go, that's gonna last forever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe one of the 2D side-scrolling ones over the 3D ones.
Yeah.
I think if we're talking specific game, the one that comes to mind is Street Fighter 2.
That's actually true, yeah. Maybe
because that game is so relevant, as much as it is today, as it was when it first came out.
Yeah.
If not, maybe more so.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a big deal. Another game, maybe Ocarina of Time.
I was thinking that, because especially with the 3DS version as well.
But then has Breath of the Wild stolen some of that thunder?
Yeah. I suppose it depends what you want in, because that's more of a linear structure, more than the big, massive open world. But I know what you mean.
Yeah, I suppose it's that. It's got a lot more, I don't know, specific, tight-focused gameplay, Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Whereas that is present in Breath of the Wild, but it's a lot more open and you can do it however you want to do it.
Yeah.
You're not forced down a specific corridor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a really difficult question to answer this. It's because then you've got your Resident Evil games, but I don't know that I could pick out one game. Maybe Resident Evil 4.
I'd say so, because think of how many games came out after that because of that style.
They saw that and was like, okay, that's what we need to emulate.
Yeah, like Gears of War, etc. Now
Resident Evil's pulling away from that and going first person. So
yeah,
it's a really weird question to answer. So I think my answer is going to have to be Street Fighter 2. Because no matter what happens, that will always be a great fighting game. Whereas, Ocarina's always going to be great, and the Resident Evil 4 is always going to be great, but stuff might improve upon it or, steal its thunder a bit.
Mm-hmm. But I'd say the 2D Mario games are probably they'll probably hold up especially if you go by some people graphics wise and think, oh, this is awful, and you go back 10 years ago. But when you go back to the 2D side scroller thing, they always hold up. Just due to
is it Super Mario, the SNES one?
Oh,
I can't remember what it's called.
The Super Mario World.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I think that visually holds up.
Yeah.
I think that can be played, over time. Whereas I think the older ones past that look a bit ugly now.
I think, probably. I think the one and the second one is, but I think the third one quite holds up because it was near the end of the NES where they had more power in the cartridge.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you're right. Actually.
But you are right on the SNES one though. Like that's probably the best one to come across the 2D ones.
It's like you look at kart racing games and you see certain ones like Mario we're talking about basically.
Yeah.
And you see certain ones like, oh, that's amazing, that's going to stand for the rest of the time, and then Mario Kart 8 comes out and it's like, ah.
Yeah.
They just it depends when, like, if we go back to Street Fighter 5 or 4 doesn't seem to have top 2. Do you know what I mean? It's maybe they got too complicated. They're a lot less friendly.
Yeah, I suppose you got more. Well, you got analog stick and stuff, but I know people don't use that. They use sticks, but
I think the like forerunners are probably Resident Evil 4, Street Fighter 2, and Super Mario World. Did you say World?
Yeah.
I think those three are probably the forerunners. I don't know if you've maybe got Ocarina of Time, sorry.
Yeah.
As well. I don't know if we should narrow it down or because those four are all quite different.
I would say 4's like, you know, we've narrowed it down to 4. Like you think of how many like games they are.
Because they are all 4 different genres too, aren't they? You've got a platformer, you've got a horror shooter, you've got a 2D fighter.
Yeah.
And
adventure.
I forgot what the fourth one was.
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time, yeah. An open world adventure game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think in the 4 different like zones, they're each a big deal.
Yeah.
Hopefully that answers your question. So we're going to end off with recommendation like normal. I haven't forgot about it this week. Because I tried to forget about it last time. I don't know if you want to reveal your recommendation first.
I'd say Mario Rabbids.
Oh, okay,
like
Mario
Kinder
Rabbids.
Battle. Yeah, if you
That's
have a Switch, like it's just a joyful game, like strategy game.
It is a really solidly fun game.
Yeah.
Like ridiculously so.
So I'd say that.
It's okay. That affects what I'm going to say. I'm going to go with Uncharted: The Lost Legacy.
I thought you would go for that. That's why I thought I'd put something out different.
The game is just a joy from start to finish. I had a smile on my face, no joke, almost the entire game.
Yeah.
I believe I played it over 3 sittings. And every time I was kind of stuck, so I was like, I want to keep playing, but I don't want to finish it.
You don't
want
to finish it, yeah.
It was really weird. Like I believe I could have sat down and played it all in one sitting if I'd have wanted to.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Because it's just such a fun game, and the pace just keeps you going and keeps you moving. There's no slow bits. It's just non-stop go, go, go. And I don't find it that difficult either, which I think helps.
Yeah, I think the puzzles were really, like, not that hard. Like, it was good for me.
There were the perfect balance of it, the puzzles.
Yeah.
They were tricky, but if you worked out the trick, they were quite easy to solve.
Yeah.
And so I think it really worked. Likewise, Mario and Rabbids, it's tricky, but it's not too hard.
Yeah, it's just
really
like you've got
to think.
Yeah.
So that's the end of Game Focus, episode 8. Now, next time we would normally come to you on the 23rd of Saturday. Next time would normally be the 23rd of September, which would be the Saturday. But what's happening that weekend is EGX, which is basically, I don't know if it's like a gaming event where we'll get to try out some of the latest games. So what we're thinking of doing is, instead of releasing that Saturday, we're going to wait till we've been to EGX, and then probably, I don't know, the 26th, the 27th-ish, Tuesday, Wednesday area. After that, we're going to try and do an episode there where we talk about the games we've played. Don't know if you think that'll be a good idea.
Yeah, I would say that's a good idea. Let's see what people think of the latest games that we can play, luckily enough.
Yeah, we'll try our best to play as much as we can. We're there 2 days, so we should get plenty of stuff played. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. I'd be interested to know what everyone else thought of Gamescom, your favourite things from the Nindies event, if you've watched them. Leave us any questions below, any comments on what you liked about this episode, what you didn't like about this episode. That's episode 9 of Game Focus. Hopefully tune in next time. Okay, quickly, before we go, we've just had some breaking news this very minute. Do you want to take it away, Platty?
Yeah, Rockstar Games have just announced Noire is coming out for the PS4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and also the VR case files for HTC Vive.
How lucky did we get with this? It's just been announced this very second.
And 4 different versions.
It's coming out November 14th as well.
Yeah.
It's the first Rockstar game on the Nintendo Switch.
And in first VR Rockstar game as well.
Yeah, on HTC Vive. Wow. It's been rumoured for a while though, hasn't it? This game. Just thought, when it was announced, thought let's just tag it on at the end, let people know. I'm actually looking forward to this. I'll play it again.
Yep, it's going to be in 4K on Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro as well.
I was thinking actually, why have they released it on PS4 and Xbox? Oh, mind you, was it PS3?
Yeah, PS3 and 360.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I figured.
Actually, that's a pretty good deal then.
Yeah.
If that can work on a Switch, then Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. Can you imagine now if, like, I don't know, new Nintendo Direct just say, actually, we're going to put... They could technically put GTA 5 on it, just be the PS3, Xbox 360 version.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. It works on... Yeah, I forget that that's on PS4, PS3 and Xbox 360.
Like, yeah, we know it probably won't run like Red Dead 2, but it could, like you say, it could run the first one. People will play it.
I'd well buy Red Dead again if it were on Switch.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't even take me a second to pre-order it. I'd do it.
Yeah.
Alright, okay then. Now this wraps up episode 9 of Game Focus. Hopefully you tune in next time. Goodbye.